Who is your favorite celebrity? My favorite celebrity is actually a singer whose name is JJ. He's actually from Singapore, but he's mainly based in Taiwan now. He is a household name in China. He is really, I have to say, he is an accomplished singer, musician. Maybe that's a better name. That's a better title for him. He is not only a singer, because most singers in China just sing, but JJ composes, he plays so many musical instruments, and he sings really beautifully. So yeah, he is my favorite celebrity. Would you want to be a celebrity in the future? No, I don't think so. First of all, I don't think I have what it takes to be a celebrity. I'm not good looking, I'm not really that talented, and I'm not weird enough, so I can't. Another reason is that if I were a celebrity, I would have to be followed by paparazzi all the time, which would be really annoying. I wouldn't want that to happen. In general, how do people become famous? Well, people become famous in various ways. Some people are just talented or even multi-talented. Perhaps they are good at singing and acting and telling jokes and stuff like that. So if they are found by the public, then they're able to rise to fame. Become famous overnight. And some other people, I'm sorry. I don't suppose there are other people. People are just talented or maybe they're weird in a way. Anyway, they just have to be special. Do you think to be famous, a person needs to have some special talent? I think I've already said that. Yeah. Some people are born musicians. Some people are born actors or storytellers. So they can become quite well known. And other people, like I said, maybe some people are just weirdos. But being weird, being really strange, is actually a special talent as well. So I absolutely believe that anyone who can be famous must have a special talent or ability. Dream in your childhood. What was your dream when you were young? Well, when I was a kid, when I was growing up, I aspired to become an actor in the future, because I thought that acting was the coolest job in the world. So I remember having that job for probably 5 or 6 years until high school, when I realized that I wasn't a very good actor, and also I was not good looking enough. Has that dream changed? Yeah, like I said just now, I quit that dream when I was in high school, and now, I don't know, I already do a pretty good job. It's well-paying, it's respectful, and I derive a great deal of pleasure from my job. So I suppose probably my dream at the moment is just to travel the world. A lot of people have the same dream, I believe. Will your dream change in the future? Well, you mean the dream of traveling the world? No, I don't suppose it will ever change, because it will absolutely take my whole lifetime to achieve that dream. So in the future, I believe I will have more dreams, but I have no idea what they are going to be. Feeling bored. Do you often feel bored? Yeah, absolutely. I believe everybody does, right? Boredom is a kind of feeling that we get all the time. So I suppose I feel bored just from time to time in a day. Sometimes in the mid-afternoon, I just feel like if I'm not super busy and if I have nothing better to do, I just feel like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do right now? So yeah, of course, I believe I'm the same as everybody else. I get bored all the time. When was the last time you felt bored? Oh, it was actually just about 5 minutes ago when I was waiting out there for you to come out and get me, because I didn't have my phone and there was no one next to me that I could talk to, so I felt super bored. What do you do when you feel bored? Well, in most cases, when I feel like I have nothing better to do, I just use my phone to read some news. There's an app on my phone called 今日头条, Today's Headlines, or something like that. This is my favorite app because I can read a lot of news articles on various things, on entertainment, on sports, politics, and so on. Once in a while, I just read what is going on in the States, especially things about Donald Trump. That guy is pretty hilarious. So yeah, these are the things I do to drive away boredom. Festivals and holidays. What's your favorite festival? My favorite festival? Well, I'm sorry. I think my answer is going to sound a little cliche, because probably it's the answer that everybody gives you. My favorite festival here in China is absolutely the Spring Festival because during that time we have 7 days off, which is a long time. So I can take advantage of the time to do some traveling. I like to get away from it all and leave all of my usual responsibilities behind me. This is really good because when I'm in another city or in another country, I can finally recharge my batteries. I believe this is really important for me at the end of the year. Are there many festivals in your country? Oh, yeah. China is a very cultural and historical country, so we have tons of festivals. Like I said, we have the Spring Festival. We also have many others, including, including the Mid-Autumn Festival, the Qingming Festival, and so many more. What do you like to do during holidays? Like I said just now, during the Spring Festival holiday, I usually do some traveling. So this is what I love to do the most. Traveling is my favorite leisure activity. I feel like it's really awesome because it's relaxing, it's enjoyable, and also traveling allows me to get a better understanding of another country and another city. So if possible, if I have enough time, if I have enough money, during a holiday, I just travel. Foreign food. Have you ever tried foreign food? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody has in China, or maybe those people in the remotest places haven't tried foreign food, but people living in cities or even those living in the countryside have definitely tried some kinds of foreign food because fast food is foreign food, right? It's from the United States. So a lot of people enjoy eating McDonald's or KFC or Burger King. I used to be a huge fan of those things, burgers, sandwiches, hot dogs, French fries, and so on. But then later I learned that they were high in fat and salt, and it wasn't healthy, so I stopped eating them. But now I still love to eat sushi, which is from Japan. I eat it at least twice a week. It's my favorite kind of food. Do you like to try new food? Yeah, I guess so. I mean, whenever someone invites me out to dinner and if this person says that we're going to try out some new kind of food that I've never had before, I usually feel pretty excited, I feel really thrilled about it because, trying out new things is always like a challenge and an opportunity to learn more, to know more, to explore the world. So it's fantastic. What kinds of new food have you tried recently? Recently, God, I'm sorry. I'm under so much pressure now, so my mind is on the fritz. I don't suppose I can think of anything new that I tried recently. I'm so sorry. Is foreign food popular in your country? I think so, yeah. It is pretty popular and it's getting increasingly popular. Fast food has been in China for 20, 30 years already. And sushi has been around for a long time. Everybody loves it. What else? Spaghetti, pasta, yeah, everything. There are so many kinds of popular foreign food and everybody loves eating them. Letters. Do you often write letters? No, I don't write a lot of letters now because when I want to communicate with someone about something, most of the time I don't even write emails. I mean, in most cases, I just send them a text message through WeChat. So maybe it's a text message or also sometimes it's a voice message. WeChat is the most popular communication app in China. Everybody uses it. So at least for me and for Chinese people, there's no need to write letters now. Do you like to write letters by hand or use a computer? Well, if I had to write a letter, I would just, I wouldn't write a letter. I would write an email. That way, I would have to use a computer, of course. What do you usually write about? Well, most of the time when I send people a text message, so like I said, I don't write letters or a lot of emails, so I just send text messages. When I do that, I usually ask people, maybe it's because we are going to grab a bite to eat. I ask them what time we're going to meet and where we're going to eat out. So maybe it's also because we're going shopping or something like that, and these are the things I usually write about. How do you feel when you receive a letter? Like I mentioned over and over again, I don't write letters, and most of my friends don't either. If I got a letter, I would be super surprised. I would be extremely shocked, because I would be thinking, who sent this letter to me? Nobody does that. Do you think people will still write letters in the future? No, I don't think so. So as I mentioned just now, we don't even write letters in today's world, let alone in the future. Nobody will do that anymore. Or maybe not nobody, I'm sorry, that's an exaggeration. I believe the vast majority of people in the future won't write letters. Maps. Do you often use maps? Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't have a good sense of direction, so I always have to find my bearings whenever I'm in a different city or in a different country because I love traveling. Whenever I go abroad, I travel overseas with my friends. We have to hire a car in that country, and then because we've never been there before, it's usually our first time. We usually have to try to find our way. That way, I'll just use a map, of course. Who taught you to use a map? I don't really remember. Perhaps it was my dad when I was a child. Or maybe it was, well, we had geography class in middle school, and I vaguely remember that our geography teacher taught us something about using maps. It's been so long, I'm sorry, it's been 10 years already, so my memory is a little sketchy. I think it was our geography teacher, if I'm not mistaken. Have you asked someone for directions? Oh, all the time. I mean, like I said just now, I always travel abroad, and when I am there, when I lose my way, I just try to find our way on a map, or on a map on our phone, actually, on my phone. Sometimes, if there's someone near me, close to me, I'll just go up to them and ask them how I can get to my destination. I've done that multiple times. When was the first time you used a map? Oh my goodness. I don't really remember. Your questions are all asking me about my past. So it must have been like 10 or even 15 years ago. I don't know. I'm so sorry. Outdoor activities. Do you often do outdoor activities? Yeah, I do. Absolutely. I'm an outdoorsy type, and my favorite is just to be outdoors and do some sports I really like. For example, badminton, basketball, and also from time to time, I like to go to the park near my home and go for a brisk walk there with my grandparents. We all enjoy doing it. I just feel that, doing outdoor activities help me lead an active life, which is really healthy, so it's great. What are the benefits of doing them? Well, there are tons of benefits of doing outdoor activities. First of all, it's obvious that they help people keep fit and stay in shape. Like actually several years ago, I was a little chubby, I put on some weight, but then I began to do some sport, some outdoor activities on a regular basis, and that helped me shed all those pounds, I just burned a lot of unwanted calories. Another benefit of doing outdoor activities is that sometimes when we do these things with other people, it's really a good bonding opportunity. It helps to bring us closer together. How much time do you spend on outdoor activities every week? God, you're asking me to do math. Well, I don't suppose I can do those things every day because once in a while I might be a little busy. So I suppose I do outdoor activities 3 or 4 times a week, and every time I do it, I might just do it for half an hour or 40 minutes. So I suppose I might just do these things for 2 or 3 hours in total every week. Advertisements. Are there many advertisements in your country? Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, our country, not only China, but I believe every country in the world is bombarded by advertising, right? We have so many adverts in every corner of the country, in every corner of the city. So no matter where we go, like if I go to the subway station, or if I go to a bus stop, or go to a mall, a department store, everywhere, I see tons of ads. Our world is just inundated with advertising. Why do you think there are so many advertisements now? Oh, this is pretty obvious. I mean, it's mainly because there's so much competition in the market, right? So in order for a company to stand out, to be known by their potential customers, they have to launch campaigns or place advertisements everywhere to advertise their products, that's for sure. For example, one example comes to mind. Apple, which is my favorite company actually, I use Apple products. Whenever a new iPhone comes out, they have ads everywhere, TV commercials and banner ads on the internet and stuff like that. So people know that there's a new model on the market, and it's likely that these people will go and buy this new phone. What are the various places where we can see advertisements? Well, I've already mentioned that, so I'm not answering this again. How do you feel? You can't say this on the real test, okay? How do you feel about advertisements? How do I feel about them? Honestly, I have mixed feelings about advertisements. On the one hand, I really hate many of them, especially those annoying TV commercials. I mean, for example, when I'm watching a fascinating TV show and then all of a sudden a commercial pops up, that just disrupts the fun, spoils the fun, and I really hate that. Sometimes it even gets on my nerves. However, on the other hand, some adverts can be extremely interesting, creative and imaginative and maybe touching, especially those commercials from Thailand. I don't know why, but Thailand is really good at making moving TV commercials, so I enjoy watching them. Animals. What kinds of animals do you like? Well, I consider myself to be an animal person, so I like a wide range of animals, including pandas, penguins, lions, giraffes, elephants, and so on. Actually, I've seen real penguins before at Beijing Zoo. I remember I was about 6 or 7 years old. I was taken to the zoo by my parents. We went there and we saw a variety of animals. But my favorite were definitely those really tiny and adorable and very agile penguins. They were they could move so fast in the pool, and they were really cute. Have you ever had a pet before? Well, yeah, I have. And actually, I had a pet dog when I was a little kid. I got it as a birthday gift from my parents when I can't remember, I guess I was 7 or 8 years old. And I kept that dog for about 3 years. It was a Chihuahua, a really cute one. The problem is, it accidentally, it got hit by a car when I was 9. So I remember I cried for a couple days. What's the most popular animal in China? Well, honestly, I guess my answer will sound a little boring to you, because I suppose most Chinese candidates will give you the same answer. It should be the pandas, because they're the symbol of China, right? They represent our country. And in China, we consider pandas to be our national treasure. Have you been to a zoo before? Yes, I have. And I actually mentioned it just now. Why do people like to keep pets? Well, the first reason that comes to mind is that absolutely in this day and age, many people live alone. So they absolutely feel constantly lonely, right? They are not accompanied by their family members, or they don't see their friends very often. So if they keep a pet like a cat or dog, then they have someone to talk to on a daily basis, and it helps them drive away the loneliness. Apps. What kinds of apps do you often use? Well, I use a wide range of apps, and I believe everybody else is the same in China. Not only in China, but all over the world, right? Because in this day and age, we just can't live without them. I suppose the app that I use most often on a daily basis is WeChat. It's the most popular in China, and it's an instant messenger, actually. It allows people to stay in touch with others, with their family members, with their friends and colleagues and classmates. So yeah, I use it all the time. Another app I use pretty much every day is actually a dictionary. It's Oxford Learner's Dictionary. I installed it on my phone about 2 months ago when I started preparing for this IELTS test, this really difficult test. I have to say, this is not a walk in the park. So I use these apps very often. What's the most popular app in your country? Like I said before, WeChat is absolutely the most popular app in China, hands down. I don't suppose there's any... Oh, yeah. There's another one. There's another one called Taobao, which is probably used by the vast majority of Chinese people as well. It's a shopping app. It was created by Alibaba, founded by Jack Ma, one of the most famous Chinese people. It's a shop that allows people to purchase things online. So, yeah, I guess WeChat and Taobao are the most popular apps. What was the first app you ever used? Oh my God, it was a long time ago when I started using apps. I don't know. I guess maybe it was just WeChat. Probably when I was 15 or 16, someone recommended it to me. Someone told me if I installed it, then I could chat with them like all the time, and then I just did it. Boating. Have you ever traveled by boat? Well, I don't remember. I mean, I guess I have. Probably, maybe there was one time when I went on a boat trip with my parents when I was only 7 or 8. Perhaps I don't remember this very clearly, but I think perhaps we, took a cruise trip from Tianjin to Shanghai. I don't remember why we did that. I guess it was just for fun, and that whole trip lasted about 3 or 4 days. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's been a long time, so my memory is a little vague. Do you like boats? I don't know, not really. I hardly ever row a boat on a lake. I have only been on one boat trip before, so I can't say that I dig it. I don't know. Would you like to have your own boat? Oh, that would be fantastic if I had one. I mean, it would mean that I was rich. Probably I would be a millionaire, and that way I would just buy a boat of my own. Are boat trips popular in China? I don't really think so. I mean, boat trips are really time-consuming, so when you want to go somewhere, if you take a boat trip, it takes a lot longer than going there by plane or by train. And I suppose Chinese people absolutely prefer other forms of transport to save time. Dictionary. How often do you use a dictionary? Well, during the past 3 or 4 months, I've been using a dictionary on a daily basis because I've been gearing up for this English test, the IELTS test, which is extremely difficult, I have to be honest with you. So a dictionary just comes in handy every day when I learn English. Sometimes if I come across a word I have never seen before, I just look it up in the dictionary, and I try to find its meaning and usage, and also some of the idioms and phrasal verbs that contain the word. So that's why I think a dictionary has been extremely useful to me during the past 3 or 4 months. Do you like paper dictionaries or electronic dictionaries? Well, I'd say I much prefer electronic dictionaries, or in fact, I have to say that, well, I've never used a paper English dictionary before, but look, I have installed an app on my phone, which is the Oxford Learner's Dictionary, and it has been really practical. I mean, it has everything. So the uses of a word, not sentence patterns, but sample sentences, phrasal verbs, idioms, and stuff like that. So yeah, I just use that. What kinds of dictionaries have you used before? God, this is pretty hard to say. I've used this app, like I said before, but oh yeah, I remember when I was in high school, our English teacher asked us to go to the bookstore to buy a phrasal verb dictionary, and that's something I bought before. And so, yeah, I mean, these are the only 2 types of dictionaries I've ever used. How will dictionaries change in the future? Well, I don't really know. I mean, I'm not very good at predicting things, let alone predicting how dictionaries will change in the future, because what I think is that most electronic dictionaries, or those apps on devices like smartphones and tablets, are extremely good already. They're extremely advanced. So what I think is that they don't really need any improvement. Family. How often do you spend time with your family? Well, I spend time with my family members every day because we live together. We live in the same apartment, so I can see them every day, and we hang out with each other every single day, and I really like that. How do you spend time with your family? When my parents and I hang out, we do a wide range of things like shooting the breeze together, watching television. From time to time, we watch a movie on our TV together. But I suppose our favorite should be shopping. My mom is crazy about it. She's a shopaholic. My dad is not, but it doesn't matter, right? When my mom and I hit the stores, my dad still has to come along because she has to carry all the bags and pay for everything. So every weekend we just go shopping together and we always have a ball. Are you close with your family members? Yeah, sure, definitely. I mean, from what I told you just now, you can definitely tell that we are a very tight-knit family. My parents and I are really close, and in fact, I wish I could live with them forever. I know it's not possible, but it's one of my dreams. How has your family influenced you? Well, my family has influenced me significantly. Like, my dad is a very knowledgeable person. He is well read and well spoken because one of his passions is reading. So I suppose I inherited that from my father because, reading is one of my favorite pastimes as well. Every day I have to do some reading for at least half an hour. My dad gave me a Kindle about half a year ago as a gift because I got really good grades in school. So now I use the Kindle to read on a daily basis. And like I said just now, I like shopping and I got that from my mom. Friends. Do you prefer to have one very good friend or a lot of friends? Well, if possible, I would like it if I had a lot of friends who were very close with me. That would be the best case scenario, right? In my personal life, I do have a lot of friends, and all my friends and I see eye to eye on most things. We have a lot in common. One thing we all dig is hiking. I mean, most of my friends and I are outdoorsy types, so sometimes if we don't have to go to school or go to work, if we have some time, we just go to the countryside or go to the Great Wall to hike for 3 or 4 hours, which I believe is extremely enjoyable. It's very pleasurable because we can be close to nature, and another reason is that all my friends and I are together. What do you like to do with your friends? Well, I think I've already mentioned it, right? We dig hiking. That's something we all like. Another thing that most of my friends are into is, well, sometimes if we don't have a lot of time to go hiking, to go to the countryside or something like that, we just organize a get-together in my apartment or in another friend's apartment. We just go there and we throw a big party together. We drink and, eat something delicious and have a lot of fun. We always have a ball together. Do you like chatting with friends online? Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, of course, what I like better is to hang out with my friends in person. That would be the best. However, if we're not in the same city, if I really want to chat with my friends, I'll just hop online and just strike up a conversation with some of my friends or all of them together. I mean, I believe chatting with friends on the internet is a good way to stay in touch with them. Gifts. How often do you buy others gifts? Well, how often I buy other people presents depends on how often my friends or family members have birthday parties, or how often there's a special occasion, like, I don't know, Mother's Day or Valentine's Day. So I only buy other people gifts on those special occasions. Well, the last time I bought someone something was about 2 months ago. It was one of my best friend's birthday, and I was invited to the party. Of course, he was my best friend. So I spent about 2 days considering what to buy him, and at last I decided to buy him a bike because he was really into cycling at that time. Do you like to give others expensive gifts? No, I don't think so. This is not because I don't want to buy other people pricey presents. It's just that I am just a student and I don't really have that much money, so I can't afford to buy other people expensive gifts. Maybe in the future, after working for a few years, when I have accumulated some sort of wealth, I will begin buying other people expensive things. What kinds of gifts are popular in China? Well, many kinds of presents are well liked in my country, including chocolates, Flowers, I mean, bouquets of flowers, and books. Absolutely, because books are treasure troves of information, right? So, I mean, some people, especially those, I guess, university students and high school students, are particularly into buying other people books. And this is something that I like to do when I was in high school. One reason was that I was quite fond of reading, and I just naturally figured that all my friends were into reading as well. Another reason is that, books are cheap, right? So when I bought a book for other people, it wouldn't cost me a lot of money. Why do people give gifts? Well, off the top of my head, giving gifts to other people is just a way of maintaining our relationship with them. It's just a symbol of our, I don't know, I don't know really, honestly, I have no idea how to put it. I think it just represents our friendship, right? For example, if I'm invited to a wedding ceremony, a wedding of one of my best friends, and I buy them a bouquet of flowers, I give it to them. I mean, it's not like they're going to keep the flowers forever, but when I buy it for them, they know that, I have them in mind, right? I care about them, and I treasure our friendship. High school. Did you like your high school? Well, did I like my high school? It's hard to say. I mean, back then, when I was in the middle of high school, I don't suppose I really liked it because it was really hard life. I mean, I had to study extremely hard every single day. Life back then wasn't a walk in the park. I was under tremendous pressure all the time. But now that I think about it, I did have a lot of fun memories. I mean, sweet memories of hanging out with my classmates, my friends, and also of interacting with my teachers. What subjects did you dislike? Oh, there were tons. I mean, there were quite a few subjects that I wasn't a fan of, like math, biology, chemistry, and physics, I suppose. Most of the subjects I didn't quite like were science subjects because I've never really adored science. Are you still in contact with your high school friends? Yeah, I'm still in touch with some of them, not all of them, because some of my high school friends and I have drifted apart over the years, but I'm still very good friends with several of them, and from time to time we organize a get-together. For example, last weekend I met up with one of my high school friends. We hit the bar together, had a few drinks, and chatted about what our high school was like, and also about our future plans. We had a great time together. What happened on your first day of high school? Oh my goodness, that was a long time ago. My memory is pretty vague. My first day of high school, so I remember walking inside my classroom, sitting down next to a very beautiful girl. She was so pretty that I just, I think I fell in love with her at first sight. I had a crush on her for a long time, but she never liked me. Later, she had a boyfriend who was the monitor of our class, and I really hated that guy. Do you live in a house or an apartment? Well, I live in a tiny apartment. It's only 40 square meters big, and honestly, I don't quite like it, just because it's very cramped. Can you describe the place where you live? I think I've already said that it's rather small where I live. This apartment is only 40 square meters big. I have a small living room and a tiny bedroom. So the reason I'm living in such a cramped place is because I have just graduated from university and I make peanuts at the moment. I don't earn a big salary, so I can't afford to rent a bigger apartment. How long have you lived there? Well, I've been living in this apartment since I graduated from university about half a year ago. So yeah, I've been living here for 6 months. Who do you live with? Well, I live on my own. It's just me. In fact, about 3 months ago, I lived with one of my university classmates, and we really enjoyed living together, but then she moved out. She moved to a bigger apartment because she found another job in another part of town, and now it just left me living in this tiny apartment alone. Do you plan to live there for a long time? No, absolutely not. I don't have such a plan because, like I've been saying time and time again, that it's very small, it's tiny, it's terrible. I mean, I really want to live in a more spacious apartment, so I suppose perhaps in a year or so, if I can make more money, if I earn a bigger salary, or if I land a better job, I will move to another apartment. And also another reason is that I will eventually get married, right? So after that, I will have to buy my own apartment, ideally. Hometown. Where are you from? Well, I'm from Beijing, the capital of China. I was born and raised here. Please describe your hometown a little. Alright, so my hometown, everybody knows this city, right? It's a cosmopolitan city, it's world famous. And I'd say the first thing that comes to mind when I want to talk about Beijing is that it's a city with a lot of history. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, our city has a history of over 3,000 years. And so because of that, we have tourist attractions everywhere, like the Forbidden City, the Great Wall, the Temple of Heaven, the Summer Palace, and so on. So that's definitely one thing that everybody living in Beijing can brag about. Another thing that comes to mind is something negative. We have terrible traffic here. I mean, no matter where you go, you're constantly stuck in traffic for a long time. This is mainly because we have a huge population. You know, there are 23 million people and 5 million cars running on the streets every single day. So this is terrible. How long have you lived there? Well, like I said before, I was born and raised in Beijing, so I've been living in the city for 27 years. Do you like your hometown? Well, I don't know. Yes and no, I suppose. Mainly yes. Perhaps because it's a modern city. Although I said it's a city with a lot of history, our city is relatively modern. We have so many shopping malls, department stores, boutiques, and museums and art galleries and stuff like that. I'm a culture vulture, so those art galleries and museums really appeal to me. I go to those places from time to time, and I always have a lot of fun when I'm walking around those places with my friends. Is there anything you don't like about it? Well, off the top of my head, I really hate the smog in my hometown, especially in the winter when the city is haunted by haze. So everywhere I go, I have to wear a mask. Although the situation is slightly better this year, I believe there is still a long way to go. Will you continue living there for a long time? Yeah, I believe so. This is because my roots are here in Beijing. My family are here, my friends are here, so I can't imagine moving to another city where I can't see my family or friends on a regular basis. Music. When do you listen to music? Well, I listen to music all the time because I'm crazy about it. I have to say that music is an essential part of my life, so no matter what I do, no matter where I go, I just have my headphones on and I, listen to some songs. So, for example, every morning when I go to school, I usually take the subway to school, and on my way there, I listen to some R&B songs or hip-hop to pass the time. How much do you spend listening to music every day? Well, I haven't counted. I guess if I add everything up, I probably spend about 2 hours or even 3 hours listening to music every day. What kinds of music do you like to listen to? Well, like I said before, I am a huge fan of music, so I listen to all kinds of it, including hip-hop, R&B, rock and roll, country music, and I also listen to some classical music from time to time. But if I had to pick a favorite, I suppose maybe it should be country music. Especially when I feel a little down in the dumps, I just listen to some country songs, especially Taylor Swift songs. Her music is really therapeutic, I think. Have you ever been to a concert before? Yes, I have. I've been to tons of concerts, and the last time I went to one was 3 or 4 months ago. I went to Jolene's concert in Shanghai. Jolene is a household name in China, and I really adore her. So I went there with my mom, who likes Jolene as well, and we had the time of our lives that day. Do you like reading newspapers? Do I like reading newspapers? Well, it's hard to say. I'm not sure if the BBC is considered a newspaper, but I do like to read the BBC on a daily basis. It's my main source of information. I like to read a lot of the articles on the BBC, mainly because their news coverage is unbiased, I guess to a great extent unbiased. And another reason is that I read those articles to learn English. Do you like to get news from the internet or from newspapers? Like I said before, I always read the BBC, which I think is kind of like the internet. But what I do is this, actually. I have installed an app on my phone, the BBC app. So I use that app to read news pretty much every day. And that allows me to get updated on what's going on in the world. I hardly ever read newspapers. What kind of news do you like to read or watch? Well, my preference is to read about the entertainment and sports because these things, they appeal to me more. They're lighthearted, they're not very serious, they're not like politics or scientific news or something like that, which require that I read those articles really carefully to get to know what is really going on. So when I read a news article about a celebrity or an actor, actress, a singer, or a soccer star, I just feel that it's a good way for me to unwind. Do you like domestic news or international news? Well, I read both, I guess, but maybe domestic news attracts me more because it's more relevant, right? I get a better understanding of what's happening around me. Like, for example, maybe the news says that housing prices have soared recently, and then I know, okay, it's not time for me to buy an apartment. But of course, I never really think about buying an apartment. I can't afford it.